Hi, I'm Hilary Cave, and I'm now 4 years into the writing of my book, The Hermit and the Dreamcoat, subtitle A Complete Fairy Tale. The book is about a consciousness-changing experience I had in 2005, after which the chronic depression I'd been living with for 24 years simply lifted from me as though a sudden gust of wind had blown the clouds away to reveal the blue sky once more. The experience was of a direct connection with my higher self, and ultimately took me to a place right outside of myself and our three-dimensional world, and into a completely new place in my consciousness. And I can tell you, as I'd spent more than 2 decades feeling as though I was going out of my mind, when I actually did drop right over the edge, it was quite a trip. Not long after this experience, the title of the book popped into my head, and like everything else to do with this project, I knew it was absolutely right. Once it was in place, the words started bubbling up inside me like there was no tomorrow, and I discovered a voice inside me that I'd never heard before or given expression to. Along with the words came a constant stream of wonderful feelings. I was excited, I was passionate, I was full of hope and positivity, and the whole experience was intensely humorous, as though I suddenly had a cosmic comedian inside my head, pulling my leg and cheering me on from the sidelines. Along with the comedian, another character stepped out onto the stage, and a very deep, quiet feeling of confidence asserted itself. I repeatedly heard the words, "Watch this space," and "I know exactly what I'm doing," as though they were being spoken out loud inside my head. And all along there's been a quiet, unshakable faith in this writing project, even though I haven't always been sure myself what was going on or why the words were falling out as they were onto the page. The book's written as a consecutive series of fragments and consists of a direct narrative, which is the story of my own journey, entwined with several other more or less fictional narrative threads. It's written in this slightly unconventional format because the book is not a how-to or self-help book. It's a book whose purpose, I believe, is to use the magic of words in whatever way necessary to enable readers to emotionally resonate with what I'm trying to say, and I hope to experience some of these positive energies for themselves. Excuse me. In this way I consider it unique. I've certainly never read a book which is so consciously interactive and in which so much is going on between the lines. And from quite early on in the process, the friends of mine who read what I'd written so far told me that they were also feeling these feelings of excitement. One even said it was the most healing book she'd ever read. And a 1.5 years ago, a literary agent told me she'd found it compelling and would like to see it again when it was finished. These responses seemed to confirm that the strategy was working, and that the feelings I had about the project really were being communicated and picked up on by my readers. And as you might imagine, this really gave me an extra boost of confidence with which to carry on the day-to-day business of writing it. While it has also been my intention to be transparently clear on the intellectual level, because of this emphasis on the emotional content, the concept I've had from the beginning is to see the book as a kind of hub or two-way or a hub or two-way portal through which these positive feelings can be transmitted. And the vision has been of energetic pathways being forged between myself and the reader, and between readers themselves, creating ultimately some kind of snowball effect. I don't know the implications of this yet or how far it might go, but I've been consumed with excitement about it ever since I started writing, and that feeling more than 4 years later is in no way diminished. And the excitement isn't so much about the competition or even the book in themselves. The excitement is about the chance to share with you through these vehicles my complete and total faith, based on my personal experience, that we are beings of light, of love and stillness and infinite consciousness, and that something extraordinary is happening to human consciousness on the planet at this time. If I'm preaching to the converted here, then this is a chance for you to forge another link in the network of these incredible energies. And if not, I hope you'll go far enough out on a limb to jump on my bandwagon and then wait to see what happens next. Remember, watch this space, because this space is now your space too. And I should mention at this point that the snowball effect is already starting to produce results in my material world. Just 2 weeks before I first heard about the competition, someone had suddenly suggested, apparently out of the blue, that I go out and give talks about my book even though it isn't finished yet, reflecting exactly the spirit of what the competition requires. I also wrote a section into the book quite early on, perhaps 3 years ago, about getting out there and gathering in the votes. And these are just 2 examples of ways in which my vision is clearly resonating with my external reality, And so I know deep down that this competition and the opportunity it offers me is right on schedule, whatever the outcome may be, and that thought is causing me to feel very excited. There's one more very important thing I'd like to talk about. My depression had the most devastating impact on my life. I went to hell and back, and I can tell you it wasn't a short trip. And I know that there are a huge number of people out there suffering in a similar way right now, even if only on a low level. It can be a very difficult thing to admit to, let alone talk about, and I think that more often than not people feel deep down that though it may get better for a while if you're lucky, it can never really heal in a profound and lasting way. As we know, the very nature of depression is that it greedily projects itself forward in time, gobbling up not just the present moment, but one's entire future, leaving no room for hope or release. Having experienced the waking nightmare of this kind of depression for 24 years, and then watched it simply disappear as I was reconnected with my deep universal self, I have first-hand experience of a kind of healing I myself had never quite dared to believe was possible. And so my book is for everyone, but perhaps particularly readers on an emotional journey in search of deeper truths about their identities, and who can benefit, I hope, from hearing the story of someone who has well and truly been there and come out the other side. And finally, let me reiterate, this isn't just about hearing a story, it's about experiencing these exciting, transformative energies along with me. My book is just one doorway out of many you might choose to walk through, but I want you to know that inside this house, trust me, the lights are on and everyone is most definitely home. And so asking for your vote is my way of giving you a personal invitation to connect with the extraordinary snowball effect that's already happening on the planet, and to join all of us determined to raise our consciousness and heal ourselves and the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm definitely not the only one. Thank you.